Hello everybody, Karen here. I'm going to be painting with you. We're going to be painting this tulip painting. It is a lot of fun. I think you guys will like it. It's pretty easy. The colors I used, you can use your own variation. It doesn't have to be the exact color. And I know a lot of you guys even change the colors, so if you want to do a yellow tulip you can, pink tulip you can. You might want to change the background color so that does stand out a little bit if you do choose to change your tulips in their color. Most tulips do have green leaves. If you do change that, I would like to see what it turned out to look like. Send me a picture. All right, to get started, you guys will need a canvas, brushes, the big flat brush, a medium-sized brush, a flat one or a round one is fine, and then a round detailed. It doesn't have to be super fine this time around. Just a little one for the lines at the end would be nice. Water, get some clean water, and a rag, because you might need it if you drop a brush on the floor, because I did do that when I was painting this, or if you just need it to fix something on the canvas, or wipe your hands, wipe your brushes. It's just nice to have that ready for when you need it. And then that's all. That's it. Let's get started. All right, to get started, we're going to sketch out the tulips. And I'm going to use my medium size, and I have a round brush, but any brush would be fine. You can use a small brush if you want to. I'm just going to sketch it out with purple. And if you want to just do one big tulip, that's fine, or more than 3 you can too, but we're going to be painting 3. So I'm going to start up here and just do like a big U. Then we're going to have one over here. And it's going to kind of be slanted, tilt a little bit. Another U. And then one right here. And we're going to overlap it a little bit. And this is just, like I said, we're just sketching it out. We don't have to have a perfect lines or thick paint at this point. What's nice about using purple, when we start painting our tulips, you'll be able to see just a little bit of it shining through. I think it'll look really pretty. We're going to do our stem, so it's a little thicker where it attaches to the tulip, and then it goes down. We got another one right here. Again, a little thicker where it attaches to the tulip. And we're going to stop because we're going to be doing some of the tulip leaves. And then up here, make another one. There we go. And I'm going to stop it from right there too, because we're going to put some leaves in there. All right, so right here, I'm going to put one of these little leaves here. Back here it's going to have some, but I don't know. We don't really need to paint them all in, but it doesn't hurt anything. Let's do a really pretty one right here. And I'm thinning down my purple a little bit. The purple I have is really thick, so I'm just doing that, if anybody's wondering. Now this is not one of my original paintings. This is, I guess I definitely want to mention that. It is a really fun one. I think somebody shared this with me. They'd like to paint it, and that's where it came from. All right, so we don't need to paint into the top of these tulips because it's going to be filled in with a lot of color. Down here is where all the green leaves will be, and then we're going to have some background that we're going to be painting in right now. So make sure you wash your brush whenever you're not using it and clean it out. I'm trying to find a big brush. All right, so we're going to do the background, and we're going to start at the top. And it is a light purple, but you can use blue. We'll be adding a little bit of orange and yellow, maybe, we'll see. Right now I'm just mixing a little bit of white and purple together. So definitely want it to be light. The flowers are a dark red, so it's going to really pop against that light colored background. So we're just going to be brushing up and down, and I'm using the big flat brush and light purple again. You brush it into that tulip part. It's not going to be a big deal because we'll be painting over that. So we're going to stop about right there. All right, so we're going to wash our brush. And then we're going to add some yellow. I was going to do orange, but we'll see. We're going to do the yellow first. Now I have just yellow, but I'm going to add just a little bit of white. We want a little bit more of a pastel yellow. And again, you don't have to do this. Your background can be any color you want. So I'm just mixing a little bit of white in my yellow. And we are going to brush that around the tulips. So any part where you think the sky might be shining through, maybe a little bit right there. Just want to add yellow down here. I'm going to brush in just a little bit of white, so you'll see just a little of the contrast in there, the white and the yellow. And go over those parts just one more time. And it's okay if it's mixing a little bit with purple. I think it'll look nice. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of orange. Really light orange. And I don't have orange, so I'm actually mixing a little bit of red with the yellow that I had left over. It's looking more like a peach, but that's what I'm gonna have to go with. We'll see how it turns out. So it just looks like a little bit of a peach. And this part of the painting kind of reminds me of pastels. I feel like that a lot of pastel paintings have a purple and the yellow together. It's really pretty. And the orange. I'm going to put a little bit over here. And then maybe just a little bit down in here. I think that looks pretty good. right, so now we can wash our brush and go on to the tulips. All right, we're gonna start with the tulips, and we're gonna go and just paint a coat of red on these tulips. And if you want to do a different color, you can. You don't have to do red tulips. If you're to do like a yellow tulip, I would definitely do a different color background, maybe a turquoise. But see how it's overlapping that purple, and I think it looks nice. Kind of already shadows it. And we're going to brush that up. And right now I'm just putting a thick coat on. Not really worrying about the direction of the brush or anything. Oh, and I am using my big brush. You can use your medium brush if you want. Whenever I can, I guess I do like using the big brush. All right. A lot of you guys probably can see the canvas a lot better, me doing it like this. All right, so we're gonna go to our medium brush. And I'm gonna add just a touch of purple in the red, just to make it a little darker. It's not a very pretty red, but if you have a dark red, you can just use your dark red, or you can make it. We're going to add some shading in our tulips. And we're going to start with the edges. Looks like it needs to be a little darker. And I'm starting at the bottom and just brush up on the edges. And this is actually going to overlap the front, so I want to make sure I only do the side of this one, and we're not going to do the edge of that side because this is going to overlap it. So let's go ahead and do this side first. The dark red. And stop there because this will go over that. Start here. Looks nice. All right, so let's add some little bit more detail to these tulips. Let's, right here on the bottom, we're going to curve up. We're going to do it to this right side. Start at the bottom, curve up. We're going to go in and add some other colors, but for this side, I'm just going to do one side. Not some other colors, just more shading, I guess. Wash your brush. Make sure it's dry. We're going to add just a little bit of regular red to our brush, and I want to kind of blend this in a little bit. So the edges where it meets the other red, just bring it down. You might need to wash your brush between every stroke. Otherwise it's going to get real muddy, and you want to make part of this pretty bright. So I'm going to start at the top, right where that dark meets that red. I'm going to brush it down. I'm going to wash my brush. Make sure it's dry. We're going to blend this side too. I'm going to go over here, brush down and blend that in. I'm going to flip my brush because I got a clean side and do it to that side. You like that, Adelaide?
Yeah.
I have Adelaide over here watching. She did a cardinal painting that I'll share with everybody too. That if you want to, you can follow along and do that. All right, so I'm going to mix another red. I'm adding a little bit of yellow to it. Where's my red? All right, so I'm going to mix a little bit of the orange in with my red. Not the orange, yellow. But if you have a little bit of orange left from the sky, you can put that in the red. Just want to brighten it up a little bit. So a little bit of yellow with the red. My palette's really messy. I should show everybody. If yours is just as messy, that means you're doing really well. All right, so we're going to put this. It's going to be kind of the highlight. We're going to brush it in the middle of where these dark lines are. And if you need to, add just a little bit more yellow. I'll put some here. Right here. You do want to stay away from those dark lines because we blended those in. We don't want to have to reblend them. We do want that tulip to be in front of the other one. So right now I'm just starting at the top, pulling it in. I feel like it still looks really dark. What do you think, Adelaide?
I rate 100 stars.
100 stars, all right. I think we're gonna add just maybe a little bit of pink. What do you think about pink, Adelaide? How do we make pink?
White and red.
All right, we won't trick anybody and tell anybody. Just mix green and brown. Will green and brown make red?
No, we can't make red.
If you're magic, it will. So we just add a little bit of white to our red to make a little bit of pink. And we're gonna brush that in. And that's gonna be at the top, mostly. You're gonna start here and brush down. And I'm stopping about halfway through. And this is not a super light pink. Just a little bit lighter than what I was using for the red. So I guess it's more just really dark pink. Or you can call it a light red. I think I need a little bit more. A little lighter. All right, so now I have a little bit lighter than what we were using. And we're gonna put just a little bit on the tips and just a few strokes throughout. We want to cover everything. We just want to put a little highlight on parts of the tulip. So I did it on the left side of this one, so I'm going to stick with that theme. So a little bit on the top, a little bit on the left side. I'm going to bring these petals up. I feel like it needs to go up a little bit more. These are looking really pretty. Do you think these are real tulips, Adelaide? Are they make believe?
They're totally not make believe. They're totally like real. Like 100% real.
I put too much pink there. I feel like I need to put a little bit more red, so I just put a brush stroke of the red in there. I'm gonna bring this up just a little bit with the red. Round it out a little bit. I feel like it needed to be a little bit bigger. I'm painting at an angle and I have light coming through the window, so it's glaring. It's really hard to see, at least from my angle. So I'm just making this one just a little bit bigger. And I will have this available as a printout. If you guys want to transfer it on, you can, if you guys remember how. So I'm just recreating those dark lines. I'm washing my brush. All right. So we do want to put just a tad bit of that lavender in there. So if you don't have it, go ahead and mix up white and light purple. Oh, white and purple to make light purple. Did you hear that, Adelaide? Maybe you should teach the class. And we're gonna brush it kind of same place where we put the light pink, just very little though. It just looks like the surroundings is kind of reflecting a little bit on them. Can you see that? I hope everybody can. All right, so now we're gonna do the leaves. And for the leaves, we need green and blue. And maybe a clean palette. Magic, watch. Abracadabra. I've learned my magic from you, Adelaide.
I can.
All right, we're gonna do the leaves, and we're gonna need purple, blue, and green. And again, any blue or green will probably work just fine. Let's start with just adding a layer of green on all of where the leaves are. So I'm just brushing it on here. We'll go on and add more color in a bit. And I'm using my big brush, my big flat one, because I can hit tight areas with it and big areas. But you can definitely go with your medium brush. All right, so we have a little bit of green on there. So now we're gonna go and just blend it a little bit. I'm gonna add just a little bit of blue to my green. And I'm not gonna mix it all the way either. And I didn't even wash my brush. I'm gonna be really sloppy here. So I just have a little bit of the blue on the brush with that green. And I'm gonna brush it towards the bottom of the leaves. This is with the blue and the green. And you really can't go wrong. I'm not quite sure where these leaves are all going, but I know. Gardens just kind of grow however they want, so you can't go wrong. Just brush it in there. And on this one, I'm going to brush it on this side. Okay. I'm going to wash my brush now. I want to blend in a little bit where the blue and the green meet. So I'm taking a clean brush with a little bit of green. I'm just going to start at the tip of the leaf and pull it down. Start at the tip, pull it down. I'm trying to overlap where that green and blue meet. Bring that one out. I'm going to get a little bit of blue and bring this little guy all the way out. And then take a little bit of green, bring that on the top. And I should have washed my brush. It looks nice though. I like it. Put a little bit of green on the top. Look kind of messy through here. But we'll be adding some little bit more details, some outlining and stuff. It all makes sense. It's hard painting. I got these little grips at the bottom. It makes painting down there pretty hard because I keep hitting it. I'm just putting a little bit of blue. You guys can stop when you're happy, or just keep going forever. My daughter left, so I have nobody to talk to, nobody to laugh at me. Right, I think I'm done. Maybe not. Just brush that in a little bit. I really like that. And again, the bottom of mine is just terrible. I can't get down there very well. And hopefully you guys are pausing it and catching up as you need. I don't expect anybody to paint this fast. Take your time and have fun. All right, so we're gonna do some outlining. You want to mix a little bit of black with your purple, with your regular purple. We want it a real dark purple. And wet down your brush, and you can use your small brush. Wet it down and wet down that paint just a little bit. It will glide easier. It'll be easier to paint. And even taking your canvas and putting it on your lap will help you too. So here we go. Small brush, and I use a round brush, and I usually try to find a spot to hold my hand when I'm doing things like this, but a lot of mine is still pretty wet, so if you want to, you could pause and go back and do this, but I'm going to start at the bottom of the tulip. It does make it nice. Some of it will blend in a little bit if it's still wet, so I'm just taking a little of that dark purple and blending it in on the edges. And then we're gonna have a little bit up here. And it's not showing up. And just round strokes. We're not going to be outlining this like a coloring book. Just kind of wherever it ends up. The paint is going to run out on your brush, and then just just get more paint and start somewhere else. And when I'm painting these lines in, I am going at a curve. You want to go with the curve of your flower. So down here I'm going to do a little bit. Start at the bottom and go up. There we go. Let's go on to the stems. The stems we want a little darker, so you can add just a little bit more black. We're going to paint in, and it's okay for some of that purple to shine through. I think it'll look gorgeous that way. So don't try to cover it all up. So I'm still using that same brush. And if that paint isn't coming off very well, just water down that paint a little bit. Just make sure those little stems are attached. All right, so now we're going to take some and put some of these dark lines in the leaves. So let's start right here and work your way down. So I'm just kind of outlining them. When the paint runs out, just stop. We want nice quick strokes. And you can, again, put your hand somewhere if it's dry to help guide you, or even put the canvas on your lap. I'm using that dark purple for this. And this one's a little separated. It's got that little dimple. Oh, what do you guys think? So I like it with that little bit of purple shining through. Yeah, it looks neat. I'm washing my brush. You just take a step back and look at it and see where maybe some of it needs more paint. I think I need just a little bit more green there. I can see a lot of the canvas. I'm just going to put a little bit more paint there. Here we go. Thanks for painting with me with this tulip painting. I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. It'd definitely be more fun if I had somebody to paint with, like you guys. But this is pretty good. I hope you guys liked it. And I hope to see you again soon at the Art Center when all this is over. Send me your pictures through Messenger on Facebook, or if you have my email, send them by that. And I will actually try to put them all together and put them on a post so everybody can see how everybody's painting turned out at home. I think that'd be fun to see them all. And let's think. That's it. Stay safe, practice social distancing, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.